Okay, we're gonna warm up with some Battle Royale.
I know you creeps don't wash. These are the coolest ones.
Oh my god, that's huge! Holy fuck!
Stop that car.
Yo, I need to say prayer for fucking Kanye, man. I feel bad for that guy. Sorry, I was on the news app and I saw like Kanye and he had this like thing fucking dangling on his face or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, like what? Like, and then like underneath it was like Kanye's fucking denture, like oral like fixture or something. I don't know, it's causing him to have an infection or something on his like lips. I feel so bad for this guy, man. Like, to be quite honest with you, I would love Kanye to get back into music. Oh, put on some next song. Put on some next song, girl. I mean, come on. Put on some next song. Oh, please. Ooh. I know you can do it. I know it. I know it. You can do it. But who knows? Yo, he had some good songs back in the day. Like, any song he put out was, like, top of the chart. Like, this isn't the original.
Why would you get any other phone? No, seriously.
Because there's so many options.
S24 Ultra has taken the best.
There's so many options. They're like, why would you try any other phone? It's like, because the options.
Of anything.
I want to try them.
It has Max, and there's just multiple cherries on top, just sprinkled all over the place. This one sets the tone. weaknesses, the more impressive it gets. So maybe what, you're a screen snob, right? You like to pixel peep. Maybe you were thinking about getting one of the ultra high-end Oppo or Xiaomi phones just for an amazing screen. Alright, well, look no further. Literally one of the best screens in any phone. S24 Ultra has dropped in a class-leading 6.8-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, and it is awesome. These Ultra phones have had, 120 Hz OPPO for a while, and they've been this really sharp Quad HD for a while now too. But now on top of that, two new things. One is it's completely flat.
It's always been only me.
Much brighter. So there's been this whole new batch of like 2,500 plus nit phones over the past couple months that I've seen. This, I think, is the best looking one that I've seen so far. So now it's up to a max 2,600 nits, which is awesome outdoors or anywhere. But it also gets extremely dim at night too, without any of the weird banding I've seen in some other phones. And they flattened the display completely and brought the display right up to the very corners with some of the thinnest bezels we've seen all the way around. Plus, there's also this new anti-reflective coating on this Gorilla Glass armor that makes a noticeable difference with certain light
Enemy
hitting
soldier
and
incoming.
angles. And then
We're
there's
headed
a
to the
crazy
war zone.
fast
Get geared up and stand by.
and maybe I wish the touch target was a little bit bigger, but that's about it. Honestly, if you're a screen snob, it doesn't really get better. This is the phone you should get. Okay, so what if your primary concern is battery life? Well, you could always get the Energizer one time, but as far as reasonably sized flagship slab phones go, it doesn't get much better than this. Again, they're keeping a 5,000 mAh battery, the best performing battery phones for the past few years, despite making it thinner and keeping the S. So, might as well get this one. You still got 45 watt wireless charging, you still have 25 watt wireless charging, and just battery life wise, I was able to have long days with no problem with 6 hours per screen. I was able to beat it.
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
That bird spinning. Finish up. We're airborne in 3.
What if then is just
I wish I could change my operator like right now. You know,
came
like
down.
just
We
go
are
in and
green to
change.
go.
Like, oh, I want
Gear
to be
up,
Snoop.
grab
I
your
want to be
shoes.
Lilith. I
We're going
want
to
to
the
be
war
like,
zone.
you know.
Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact.
You know what
early
else?
and
Nicki Minaj. Why can't you buy Nicki Minaj anymore? Like, I would have loved to play as Nicki Minaj.
I'll see you on the
Like,
other
come on.
side.
But whatever.
Battle Royale.
It's really good for note taking, drawing, highlighting, all that stuff. But if you're like me and you hardly
Keep
ever
clear
use
of that gas.
still
Get to the safe zone.
and the everyday performance. There's the new
Be advised, cash drop is inbound. Enemies dropping into the AO.
Cool phone, much longer stuff. Turns out it's an A+. Now you could always get a gaming phone and squeeze 5 to 10% more frames out of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with some huge badass cooling setup. That's great. But then you also have to accept all of the sacrifices that come with said gaming phone over this. And do you really want those extra frames that bad? Okay, cameras. There's a lot of other phones out there that you could buy $100 specifically has to go to the best cameras. Pixel, blind camera test. Sony has the best manual mode. And there's other great cameras. So here's a way to simplify it. I think in evaluating smartphone cameras, there's basically 2 ways. There's the YouTube.
That was close. Gas is moving.
Aesthetics, the art of it. And I think utility-wise, like on paper, specs-wise, this camera's got it all. Like you see this camera right before, there's 4 cameras on the back of this phone. It turns out they're basically the same cameras as last year's S23 Ultra, except for one.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Camera, an ultra-wide, and a pair of 2 different telephoto cameras. The primary camera is still a ridiculous 200 megapixel sensor with all the same pros and cons. It's consistent and across the board. It has great dynamic range. It's a quick shooter with quick autofocus, and it's also always spinning down to 12 megapixels, and you should almost never switch it to the 200 megapixel mode unless you have incredible lighting. It has an ultra-wide with a bit of distortion near the edges, but it's actually meaningfully wider than the primary camera, so it's really fun to shoot. Even though the automatic macro mode from it looks like trash, and you should just turn it off anytime it turns your pictures from this to this. Pro tip. And then it has a medium range 3x telephoto camera that kicks in smoothly and matches the colors and exposure from the main camera really well. So the one new thing in hardware this year is they've gone from a 10 megapixel 10x camera to a 50 megapixel 5x camera. So technically it's shorter optical zoom range, but I would say with the extra resolution, it is actually more powerful.
For anyone struggling with high blood sugar, do not drink cold water. Did you know that high sugar levels may have little to do with the food you eat, your weight,
Bounty
or the
targets are up.
pancreas
Get
itself?
after 'em.
But rather with something disturbing that your pancreas and a blocked nose have in common. Here's the problem. No matter what type of medication you take or what treatments you try, you might...
It means all the photos in the gap between 5x and 10x look sharper than last year. And then you can literally put the 10x photos side by side from the S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra, and the new 5x cropped in actually looks better. Plus, you can still zoom all the way in and shoot at 100x if you still want ultra stable pictures of faraway objects like the moon. Basically what I'm saying is, utility-wise, this camera system checks every single box. It has everything. So from there, you get into the more subjective aesthetic differences, which you could always lean one way or the other. I think, looking at these photos, they're still very much Samsung's slightly extra process looking, a little bit extra contrast, a little bit higher exposure of the brighter colors. That still happens with these photos, and you can still lose yourself to lean Pixel or even iPhone. But if you just want to be able to check every single box, why look anywhere else? Honestly, the changes more, aside from the actual camera quality, are just like features using it. Like the S24 Ultra shoots everything HDR by default now. It's actually in Google's new Ultra HDR format. So when you have, specular highlights or big dynamic range differences in a photo, it will tastefully crank up that stuff for a more dramatic looking picture on the phone screen, similar to what Pixel and iPhone already do. And this passes through all the way from capturing the photo to viewing
You got a
it in
loadout
the
drop
gallery,
inbound.
and then one more step to actually publishing it on social media. So Samsung has worked with Instagram and Snapchat for native quality photo and video uploading.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
99% of the time, do it. Share it. And I think this is important for a lot of people. This is one of the reasons I have carried an iPhone for years. Is one of the things you can always count on is the photos and videos in third-party apps are going to look just as good as if they were captured in the main camera. And now you can actually say that that is true now about photos and videos from this phone, Instagram, right? Maybe you're a software person. Maybe the top of your list of buying a new smartphone is you want the smartest smartphone. It's got to have all the software and AI features, and honestly, it should have a nice long roadmap ahead of it of on time. Sounds like I'm describing a Pixel, but turns out this phone now has a ton of helpful AI features built in that are actually good, that make a meaningful difference to everyday use. Now, the funny part about a lot of this is
You got gas moving in.
in partnership with Google, as you'll see. And I can't help but keep thinking, it feels like Samsung needs
We lost that son of a bitch. Bounty contract's been pulled.
especially against the iPhone. But then Google, now their own phones are a little bit less competitive, but it's probably worth the trade-off because now technically they're helping to compete against the iPhone. It's this weird thing where it's fascinating. It'll probably work its own separate video. Maybe let me know in the comment or by subscribing. I'm down to see that. But that's all the background. So we were just talking about photos a second ago. The second you're done taking a photo and opening it up in Samsung's gallery, you can get a ton of useful AI-driven stuff that you can do with it. And it's kind of all based on what sort of and auto detects that you can click. So lots of photos end up with a real master button. You get an enhanced contrast, brighten things up a little bit as needed, get a solid before and after. But if a photo has some glass for a window, it'll show you an erase reflections button. And then you can literally go in and circle the reflections you want to get rid of, and it'll generative fill what should actually be in the glass. And it works pretty well. Now with this photo, I didn't take it in portrait mode, but it recognizes that there's a subject, and so it'll offer to add background blur. And even without a bunch of extra depth information, it analyzes the subject and lets me add a little bit or a lot of background blur with a pretty damn good cutout, if you ask me, to just create a portrait mode shot out of thin air. But if you ever really there's a whole separate magic editor that feels exactly like what we just got with the Pixel, minus any restrictions. It's never told me it can't do something. So you open any photo, hit that edit button, and then there's this little blue-green button with the stars. That's Samsung's new magic editor. And once you're here, you can just go down and subject around a photo and have a generative fill in the background, or you can have it entirely from the foreground or the background of a photo, like photo bombers or just unnecessary random object. I actually found this super useful, but probably actually my favorite one, underrated. You know how normally when you need to tilt a photo, like fix the horizon, you end up cropping in and losing some of the outside of the photo? You can still do that, but with this magic editor, you can open it up and tilt the horizon to whatever angle you want, and instead of cropping, it will literally generative fill in the outsides of the photo, which works very well because usually the outside of the photo is the least important part of the photo. You can get away with generative fill. And by the way, literally all this stuff works with photos you download to the phone too. Not just photos you've taken on the camera, but photos you just get wherever, just like the Pixel. Now, I also find it hilarious.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone.
To alter a photo on this phone, it'll add a little watermark to the bottom corner with his little stars so that you know that this photo was AI manipulated. Which is good. That's a good, responsible thing to do, especially if you're going to upload this to social media. But then you can also immediately erase that watermark with the built-in object removal tool against Samsung's photo editor app. There's a nice little section in the settings where Samsung's tucked all of the AI features of this phone. It's called Advanced Intelligence instead of Artificial Intelligence. Still AI, though. That's where you get stuff like the live phone call translation feature, or the new voice recorder app getting much improved speaker labels and summaries and transcriptions.
Requesting closeout. Target marked.
Summaries of what
Copy. Longbow 3-1 on approach. Strike inbound.
But the best thing is Google Lens has been I think underrated products. So people might have already known
Training
that you
camp.
Basically do
It's
this
the
already,
gulag,
but it takes several
and you're gonna have
steps.
to fight to earn redeployment.
Just
Hey,
makes
I
it
know
one
money
step.
doesn't grow
It's
on
much
trees,
faster.
but it is covering the
Pretty
ground.
awesome. Literally, just hold down on the home button or the button, and then circle or tap whatever on your screen that you want to do. And it just immediately goes over the top of whatever you're doing without leaving that app, and it's so useful. Just even during the week I've been using this phone, I've searched parts of pictures.
Your fight's over, soldier. Return to base.
Landmarks. You can also search text.
It's a valiant effort.
Append
Keep your head up.
text to your
Return to
search.
base for
And I was just
debrief.
constantly impressed by how fast it is. And it basically works as expected every single time. The one tricky part is sometimes selecting text gets a little weird. Using the S Pen can solve that a little bit to just get a more precise selection, but yeah, once you do it, it's much faster than if you're going to use Google Lens, having to like take a screenshot and upload it through Lens, and then maybe crop it and the whole thing. This is just fast. Now, real OGs will know that there used to be a feature on in the settings where Samsung's tucked all of the AI features of this phone. It's called Advanced Intelligence instead of Artificial Intelligence. Still AI, though. That's where you get stuff like the live phone call translation feature, the voice recorder app getting much improved speaker labels and summaries and transcriptions. The Samsung browser will now do summaries of web pages. This might all sound very familiar, but the best new one, search. Now, Google Lens has been around for a long time. It's one of Google's most underrated products. So people might have already known that you could basically do this already, but it would take several steps. Circle to search just makes it one step, and it's much faster. It's pretty awesome. You literally just hold down on the home button or the gesture bar at the bottom, and then circle or tap whatever on your screen that you want to Google search. And it just immediately Googles over the top of whatever you were doing without leaving that app, and it's so useful. Just even during the week I've been using this phone, I've searched pictures, parts of pictures before. It almost always works, just like uploading it to Google Lens. I've searched objects right in front of me through the camera viewfinder. I've searched random landmarks. You can also search text, and you can even append text to your search. And I was just constantly impressed by how fast it is. And it basically works as expected every single time. The one fidgety part is sometimes selecting text gets a little weird. Using the S Pen can solve that a little bit to just get a more precise selection. But yeah, once you do it, it's much faster than if you're going to use Google Lens, having to like take a screenshot and then upload it through Lens and then maybe have to crop it and the whole thing. This is just fast. Now, real OGs will know that there used to be a feature on Pixels called Now on Tap. It was like the same exact thing. Hold the home button and it would just Google whatever was on your screen and help you out. But that was everything on your screen. And they kind of ended up wrapping that into Google Assistant. This is just so much faster and more selective. Also, Pixels are going to get this feature very soon as well. But then bonus points, if you really love software, Samsung is now promising 7 years of security updates and 7 generations of major software updates on this phone, on this S24 lineup. I assume 7 generations of software updates is basically 7 years. That means this phone will be up to date in 2031. Loving that. So we know the common wisdom was
Check your
that if you
weapons, check
wanted
your gear.
4,
We're holding
5,
for
6
deployment.
plus years software updates, or you want every single little software and AI feature, you basically had to go iPhone or Pixel. Now that this phone also has that,
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
the iPhone, they're going out there too. I know I said in the beginning of this video, $1,300 slash annual.
How to protect your house and family from dangerous intruders without a shotgun. The game-changing answer has just arrived. In Canada, people are now turning to an affordable, subscription-free, and resilient surveillance solution.
Enemies
This
dropping into the
compact
AO.
magnetic camera can be easily attached to any surface, making the installation as simple as sticking the camera anywhere you
All
want.
stations, green light. We are deploying to the war zone.
No prior knowledge of electrical items.
Phone, so I know the
Let's get that bird spinning. Finish up. We're airborne in 3.
But if we're being honest, Samsung
all
has
here.
never been shy about competing
Word
directly
came down.
against
We
the
are
iPhone.
green to go. So gear
why
up,
not
grab
take
your
some of that
chutes.
stuff
We're going to the war
from
zone.
there, too? They
We're
weren't being
cleared
subtle.
hot on
So
all
they've got this
threats.
shiny,
Watch
brand
your
new
ass down there.
titanium color with titanium rails on the S24 Ultra, just like the iPhone. They have flattened the screen and the side.
Let's get this done.
Just like the iPhone. They have the Max 5x telephoto lens.
Battle Royale.
Also just like the iPhone. They also have this new always-on display that doesn't just show the time, but shows your whole wallpaper now. Kind of like it's
Gas is closing on
just
your
like the
position.
iPhone.
Suggest
And
you
also
hightail it out of there.
Saves some battery, just like the iPhone. You can also now long press to select an object in a photo that automatically cuts it out and makes it a sticker you can use in other apps. Just like the iPhone.
Oh,
And they're
cute.
doing these new lock screen widgets now that look exactly like the iPhones. Like copy my homework, but don't even worry if they don't copy. These two are gonna keep copying each other till the end of time. None of this is a surprise. It's just at the end of the day, we are technically winning because they're making each other a little bit better. But at the end of the day, S24 Ultra, I really do feel like feels like there's also a whole bunch
Enemy
of stuff
soldier
I
incoming.
mentioned with this one.
Oh, shit. It was gonna happen anyway. It was gonna fucking
Never have to use it if you don't want to. You notice it.
Hell, and you're in it.
Could be a very
This is the Gulag, where you fight to win redeployment.
are call screening and now playing. So really the best argument not to buy this $1,300 phone is the fact that it's a $1,300 phone. And the truth is you can get 98% of the phone for $1,300. You can see it in Samsung's own lineup. Samsung's own S24 Plus has a $4,900 million battery.
wow, bitch.
Wars for the Warriors.
S Pen and
Sure, RTB.
$100 off.
The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
Regular S24 again for much less money with almost as much phone. So you don't have to spend $1,300 on a phone. But if you are going to,
Got a scavenger
put the word
contract here.
Ultra in the name and you set up as much stuff in one phone as you possibly can. This is the one that you should get. This has all the things. It's reliable. It's fast. It does everything. It checks all the boxes. This phone's great. It kind of feels like an ad when I just say all these positive things about the phone, but it's not. Until right now. This video is sponsored by Ridge. The Ridge wallet is iconic at this point. It's a minimalist, modern wallet. It's like the opposite of those old school wallets. It's got the patented dual track design that expands to hold 1 to 12 cards while being as slim as possible. And at this point, there's like 30 plus different colors and styles, including carbon fiber, burnt titanium, and forged ember. This one is the forged ember, so it's got these little red flecks in it, which look cool. You can also get accessories for it, so if you want to carry cash, you might want the money clip, or this one has the cash strap, or if you want the AirTag holder, you can get one that holds an AirTag to it, so you never lose your wallet. And on top of all that, if you get one and you don't like it, you can return it within 99 days, no questions asked. So if you want to grab one, you can get 10% off using code MKBHD, or go to ridge.com/MKBHD. Tell them I sent you. Either way, that's been it for the S24 Ultra. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
You've always wanted to be part of something bigger than yourself. You live for experience and lead by example. You want the most out of life and realize what you're looking for is already in you. This is for you, the Canadian Armed Forces. A message from the Government of Canada.
Capital One Alerts has just kept me accountable to myself. If I've forgotten something, they'll send me an email. It's always about being aware. Using Capital One Alerts has given me ease of mind.
Connect with, that he wouldn't be able to see them anyway, so there'd be no point in trying to make eye contact. Whereas if he moved it out of the way of his eyes.
But even if it was, I don't know why I'm arguing this so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But so Marquez could have.
Okay, no more of that. I just want to watch just videos of S Ultra.
Use this time for some target practice. Real things coming soon.
Hey guys, Sock here from Socky. Check out in today's video.
Enemies dropping into the AO.
24 tips, tricks, features, and hidden features on your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. You get a lot of money from this smartphone. So let's not just get started right away. Alright, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to put your device here, right here. You want to make a quick decision in relation to your battery. Go to the battery, and this is going to be a brand new feature on the S24 Ultra with One UI 6.1. So what you do is you go to battery protection. By default, this might be turned off. So turn this on and go inside. And here's what you want to do. If you know that you're going to keep this phone for a long time, what you can do is you can enable maximum protection. When you
All
enable
stations, this is
maximum
Shadow
protection,
01.
your phone
Deployment to the war
is
zone has
charged
been
to a
authorized.
maximum of 80%. By simply
Rep
doing
dust
this,
off.
it's
We're
going
up
to
in 3
prolong the
mics. Let's
battery
move.
life, so it endures
There
the
we
test
are.
of time. Now, if you're
Head
somebody
shed gave
that
the green
trades in their
light.
smartphone
We're deploying you
every
to the
year,
front
you can
lines.
just go to basic,
You're up.
or you can actually
Grab your
turn this
chutes.
off. Doesn't matter because
Enemy
you'll be
activity
trading
will
this
be high.
anyway. But let's
Expect
say you're not
contact
sure
early
where
and
you
often.
fall. What you want to do is you want to turn this on, okay, and you want to keep it at adaptive. So basically,
Let's get this
adaptive
done.
mode activates maximum when you are sleeping, and every other time you're
Battle
charging your
Royale.
phone in daytime, it's just going to do regular charging. It's going to be a balance between max and basic.
Be
So that's a
advised,
battery
gas is
protection.
closing in. Proceed
Make a
to the
choice.
safe zone.
You can stick with it, and you can see the results long term. And if you don't care, just turn it off. Now, another great feature actually has to do with calling, one of the primary functions of the smartphone. This is a brand new feature, again with One UI 6.1, only available on the S24, at least for now. So for this example, I'm actually making a phone call, and what I'm going to show you is when you are making the phone call, what you can do is you can pull down the location panel once and then twice. On the top, you can see the microphone mode. So you can tap on this guy. So what you can choose to do here is you can keep it standard, which is just a usual voice phone. So the phone is going to tap.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Your voice is focused on the other person. It's a brand new
Training camp.
you can use.
It's the gulag. And you're gonna have to fight to earn redeployment.
The person is complaining that they're hearing a lot of ambient noise in the background. This is going to be the best way, one of the best ways to make sure they can hear your voice even more clearly. Alright, so next up, I'm going to be talking about some camera features. At your disposal, you have a powerful camera. When you launch the camera and you go to the photo mode, and of course you can swipe back and forth just like this. What you can do is, by default, you can shoot at 12 megapixels. But as you know, this is 200 megapixels now. So if you tap this button right here, you can actually select to shoot at 200 megapixels, which is going to allow you to get the most detailed shots possible. So if you're out in the wild, or if you're traveling and you see a beautiful vista,
That's how it's done. Ready up for redeployment.
you can also go down one step to 50 megapixels. That's
Stuck in a dog's birthday party and last-minute tickets come through?
She got her hands full.
Was she responding, Tom?
Hey Google, text Fiona, I'm in. Fire emoji.
Pixel in the clutch! Woo! Oh, Pixel, even better with Bell.
Aerospace companies love Calgary because it's a research and development dream. It's a living lab that provides support in public space for innovators to come in and do their thing. For example, across North America, it was impossible to mass test commercial drones in a major city. Not here. We were the first. This is a city where good people, companies, and ideas can and will become great. Engineers, pilots, technicians, programmers, entrepreneurs. Aerospace is your thing, and Calgary is definitely your city.
The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is a marvel of technology. So what are some of the best tips and tricks? What are some cool things that you can actually get done with this? Let's find out. The very first few of these is going to be aimed at those of us, me included, that might be transferring from an iPhone to the Android. Now, the first thing, you may have skipped this or you may not have done this when you first set up the phone, but I would recommend transferring the data via USB-C. This is a very easy process, even if you decided to skip it when you first started opening up your phone. All you have to do is go to settings, click on the little magnifying glass, you know, the search that everything's named after, type in transfer, and then you'll be able to go from there to starting to transfer over via USB-C. You could do this wirelessly, however, that's going to take a whole lot longer. You plug in the cable, you do a few steps on your iPhone, and boom, you are up and running. Depending on how much stuff you have, it could take longer or shorter. It took me about 30 minutes to transfer everything because I have a lot of
Enemy
apps,
soldier
a lot
incoming.
of pictures, a lot of contacts, all that stuff. But once you do, you are up and ready to go. The second thing, I wanted to talk about this while we're still talking about setup, is swipe down a notifications. That does give you a range of controls and things that you can use quickly on your phone. However, if you swipe down again, that gives you a whole host of options. From
Friendly
airplane
loadout
mode to
drops on the way.
flashlight, mobile hotspot, power saving, screen recorder, link to Windows, which is what Apple does, DeX, which is pretty important to me.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
But a whole bunch of things that just give you a little more control over your phone without having to dive into the settings screen. I love this thing. I use it on my tab all of the time. Okay, hey, we had to come over to the unboxing desk so I could show you a couple more things here on the phone. The next thing's really cool because taking care of your tech is very important. A little bit of maintenance saves all the trouble. So with the Samsung phone, specifically, you can run diagnostics internally. All you have to do is we came to settings, type in diagnostics. It can spell for me. You can see here inside of device care, you'll go all the way down. This is also where you will update your software. But all you have to do is tap on diagnostics, phone diagnostics, and it gives you a full range of things that it can test. Up to 26 different kinds of tests. You have to test all if you want to do this. But hey, say maybe you're worried about your power restart settings. You can test it.
Gas is closing in.
These are cool things that you can do to just make sure everything's working well on your phone. It took seconds to make happen, and it's just nice to be able to do this on your own without having to go to a repair person, without having to plug this into something, a diagnostic tool. You get all of that built into the phone. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with all of these beautiful cameras over here. Again, if you are a Samsung diehard, you probably already know this stuff. But this is something that I found out as I've been using this phone over the past couple of days. For the cameras, you can actually set it up into pro mode on your own. Now, what that means is you can have a lot of manual control over the cameras yourself. You can set things like shutter speed, ISO, you can manually focus the camera. You can't change the aperture because these are fixed aperture cameras. Apple does the same thing. But this gives you a lot more control over this than you would normally get. For example, for Apple, with the standard app, you get very, very little control. You have to download an additional app, and some of those apps you have to pay for if you actually want to get a lot of the control over. But I really just like this.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
I like the pro video section. Also lets you check audio levels. It gives you a little histogram here to make sure you're exposing it. You're not going to be able to see that too much if you're in front of the camera, but these are nice tools to have to take video a little more seriously than just okay, the next tip is one excellent is the AI features that come enabled with it. One is Google Circles. Now this is a way to sort of visually search Google. So to do this, you just hold down on the home button, then you just draw around the object, and now it will search for it. So it found that this is a Fair S5 watch, which it actually is. Check it out, Fair S5. mechanical watch. Pretty cool. But yeah, it's that easy. You can do this with anything. It's just a fancy. So let's say I'm on YouTube and watching a very long video about a game I'm never going to play. But what game actually is this? Scan and circle. Boom. Signalis. It's just that easy. So it's a way to quickly visually scan an image or text and have everything that.
Primary objective complete.
Oh, they got him.
What is that? What is that? I can't like describe what the logo is in a Google search. This way, you don't have to describe it anymore. You just hold the button, circle it. So cool. Another awesome
Recon
thing
contract
AI
marked.
is translating and typing out text in the first place. First off, for translation, just go to your text messages. Here's one when I was getting a haircut. You then tap on text messages, and you see this little icon right here with the stars? That's the AI. You tap on that, chat translation.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
I'm going to translate to Spanish. Boom. It just
Fuck, am I
does
supposed
it
to get on that
automatically
place?
for you. And then, as you are talking or as you are chatting with somebody, it can do this in real time. That's so cool.
Looks like this intel reveals the location of the next gas spread. Get it to the designated uplink station for decryption. Hurry up!
I know it's kind of sappy tech sometimes, but I really like tech that can bring people together. And this one is really, really good. We're not going to make this the AI video, but another thing the AI can do is when you go to edit photos, you can see here now it's blue. The AI will help you reimagine the image, turn it, and then generate. Now the AI should generate the rest of what's going on in the photo. Boom. Done. Looks alright. I mean, I don't know that I would say that that's totally perfect, but another important thing that I see people beat phones up all the time is battery protection. We talked about preventative maintenance a little bit earlier in the video.
You're losing ground. Move it.
But something that I really want you to be able to see for your phone is that you can also do a little bit of battery protection on here. Just go down into settings to device care, tap on the battery, and then see it says battery protection, power saving, things like this. Battery protection will give you some options. You can do basic, adaptive, or maximum. I will do maximum. This says right here, so it will stop charging your battery when it hits 80% unless you override it to charge it for more. Now, lithium-ion batteries, we're not going to get into a huge lithium-ion battery discussion here. And they don't like being at 0%, and they don't like being at 100%. So the more you can keep it in that middle, that's great. But if you are going to be traveling...
Good connection. Set a perimeter till the transfer is done.
Charging, stuff like that, you can turn this off, and then you should be really good to go. You got to protect your batteries, because that's like the biggest investment in this phone, right? If you tear up the battery and it has terrible battery life, then you're just tearing it a bigger, gigantic brick, right? And then one more thing that I wanted to show...
Transfer complete. Marking incoming gas spread coordinates on your tech map.
An Ultra thing, but it's so cool and it involves the Ultra that I really wanted to share it with you today. So there's a way that you can do screen sharing between the two devices. Check this out. Now you can see here on my Tab S9, I have my travel mouse on. You can see I've got the device set up in DeX mode. I generally always have my Tab S9 set up in DeX mode, but what you can do is you can connect your two devices with multi-control via the DeX menu. What that gives you is the ability to, so I've got a mouse here, I can go...
You're being tracked by an enemy squad. Evade and survive.
Phone. I want to be able to check those while I'm working. Hey, guess what? Copy. And then paste those over here. Boom. This lets you use the two as dual screen technology, which I'm always a big fan of. I love being able to have multiple screens with the same small chip that I'm always bringing. I love DeX. Like I made whole videos about that. This is a cool one. I'm going to work with you. Today, we have a bonus tip and trick. Check this out. This is the S wow. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Gary, I know all the fancy stuff, but here's my bonus.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
You can use this just like a regular pen. I don't know about you, but during the workday...
Supply crates are restocked. Advise you load up now.
So much. This right here is the whole reason I made this video.
Most wanted contract right here.
With somebody, and that somebody got to be you. What about you? Are there any tips and tricks that you found that I didn't mention today? Please let us all know. Let's share all that information in the comments below. And if you like this video and you want to see what comes in the box and how cool these phones are by themselves, click right here to see either the S24 or the S24 Ultra. Click, 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 click. I love it. I love it. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna do this forever.
Tired of busting laundry's biggest myth.
Cold stains?
Cold water can't clean tough stains?
I'd say that myth is busted.
Gas is inbound.
With time.
I need to get.
Hey guys, Tucker. Checking in today's video, we are going to be sharing 50 plus amazing tips and tricks to customize Plus and the S24. Let's dive in and get started right away. Now, at the end of this video, as a separate section, I'm also going to show you guys 10 amazing tips to get the best out of your camera on the S24 series. Anyway, let's dive in. All right, the very first thing I want to talk about has to do with the lock screen. So let me go to the lock screen real quick. Okay, now I'm going to double tap to wake it up. And then basically when I tap on my clock, what I like is I like to have quick access to my voice recorder. So if I have to record something really quickly, I can just tap right here, brings it up, I tap on record, and that starts to record, and then saves that into my voice recorder. So let me show you how to get that done. Let me just log in here, go to your settings, all right, scroll down a little bit, go to lock screen and AOD, and then tap on widgets, and then right away, activate the voice recorder. So this might be deactive. What you want to do is you want to activate this, and also you want to tap on reorder, and you want to make sure the voice recorder is on the top. So right now,
Most wanted contract right
it's at the
here.
bottom. So you have to grab it and put it to the top so it is accessible right away, and you can reorder any one of these widgets that you saw on the lock screen. So now I have the voice, weather, music, schedule.
There's a bounty on your head. Eliminate enemies and secure supply caches to get rid of it.
Exact sequence, I set them up. Okay? Fantastic. Let's move on. Now there's something you want to set with your fingerprint, so let me go to my settings. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Right here, lock screen, fingerprints. I'm going to put my password in.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Register. Now, by default, the phone just names them finger 1, finger 2. So right now, if I run here and try to delete this, remove it, or whatever, I have no idea what I'm deleting. So what you can do is
loadout drop headed your way.
And then tap right here, and it's going to tell you that is in fact fingerprint number 1. So once I determine that, I can tap on this guy, I can say left. So we name them after identifying them, so in the future,
less than 25, we're still standing. We lost that one, but we'll get those sumbitches next time.
Ooh.
Gas is moving.
Look at this. So if I log in, there's a little animation, and that adds a little delay to the logging in setting. But if I go back here